A couple of years ago, while I was pacing back and forth in a single-man cell in a maximum security penitentiary, I could never imagine that I'd be standing up in a church speaking. I wasn't used to this, but certain events occurred in my life that changed all that. The people that know me from my childhood, they couldn't picture seeing me come inside of a church, or at least without it falling down on me once I stepped through the door. I'm a living example of how God works in ways that you couldn't even imagine, and I know my brother and my sister are proud of me for that too. But I'll get back to them in a little bit. You see, I wasn't raised up in a church. I grew up in gang and drug infested neighborhoods in a dysfunctional family. And I remember once I was going over some of my history with the pastor here, and he looked at me and he said, "If you could survive that, anything's possible." Now, don't you just love how you can feel so comfortable around our pastors here at Faith Family? Well, I do, because I haven't always had good people in my life. My childhood consisted of repeated incarcerations, which led me 2 trips to prison. But the second time I was released, in 2014, I promised my kids that I would never go back, that I would never sit through another visitation and watch them cry because they wanted me to come home. So I could tell you from personal experience, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're struggling with today, you can get through it. And that's coming from a little kid who grew up thinking crime was the natural way of life. That's coming from a grown man who cried in his cell when parole said I was going to be released again and had one more chance. Before I close, I want you to remember something. Every time I go talk to my brother and my sister, I tell them how different life is now and how things are getting better every day. And I can just imagine them smiling at me, nodding their head in agreement. But they can't talk back. But I don't worry about that as I'm staring down at their grave, because I know the world used them as an example, but God's using me for a purpose. And I believe that because I had a dream one night. It was real bright. I was standing outside. I could hardly see. But from off in the distance, I heard a distinct voice say, "Regardless of your past, better days are ahead." And I believed him.